So now our next guest is Niall Henry, from the Blue Raincoat Theatre, and he's here going to tell us about a fabulous new art project, I suppose the best to describe it, the Book of Sligo. Yeah. So what is the Book of Sligo? I've seen it around and just very intrigued by it.
A couple of years ago, someone came to us and asked us about, this year is the 1500 apparently birthday of Colm Kill.
Okay.
And I suppose he'd be known in Sligo because when you go into the library, there's a big painting on the back of the wall library about the Battle of the Books, because he stole a book, or copied, and didn't give it back to a guy from a guy up in Donegal who wasn't happy and said, "Give me back the book," and he said no. And there's thousands of them killed at the foot of Ben Bulben. Okay. So we thought about that, and we said, well, we were going to build a project about giving a book. And that was the start of the idea. And then someone came up with the idea that we'd make a book, and we'd made a book, and it's with the printers. And the book is it's an elegant book. It's not a very big book. And we brought some wise people together, and we took the idea, it was Malcolm Hamilton's idea, to break the county down into its civil parishes. There's 40 of them.
Oh, right, okay.
And so there's an equal amount in each parish, a few pages, interesting facts about archaeology or, folklore or history in all the different areas. And, Sligo, like...
So it'll touch everyone in every area.
Absolutely.
Little piece. That's nice,
and whatever, like South Sligo or some small little place in South Sligo is represented just as much as the town or anything like that. There's no leaning to one thing or the other.
Okay, and your authors then, you had a team of authors as well, or how many people involved in putting it together? There must be a huge team.
There was five, I suppose there was 5 people that were in charge of doing it, and they were using people to get them to find stuff for them. So a team of thieves really,
bit like
stealing.
Colm Kill.
Yeah, a little bit like, And COVID threw up all sorts of possibilities, and one for us, because we couldn't do theatre, we had to come up with different types of things. So the real project actually is that, which we're at now, because we're launching in a few weeks' time, is to hand deliver each. There's 27,500 occupied households in the county, give or take 1 or 2, and to hand deliver a copy, but neighbour to neighbour. Throughout the county.
So it's a real community effort.
That's it, project. And at this stage we have the town covered pretty much. Okay. We have North Sligo, we're doing pretty well, and we're I'd say South Sligo, we're sort of halfway through. Like, I'm from a townie, so we'd know people in the town, and I'd know of people in North Sligo, and I'd know people in Tuppercurry, and so we're out looking for people to help us in West Sligo and South and Southeast Sligo.
So it could be community groups, could be sports clubs,
anybody,
everyone.
Okay. And our job is, we have the whole place mapped and all the air codes. So in some places there's groups come together that can sort of pull in residents' associations and development groups.
Yes.
But at the same time there might be individuals in the area and that are willing to help. Okay. And then it's our job to sort of help them, not manage that as much, but just hey, we know 3 people in this area. And and it's launched on the 11th of November, but we're sort of giving ourselves 3 weeks to a month to do it. You know what I mean?
Okay,
because
it's a large project to get it all out.
It's a large project, and we want to try to get it everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fascinating effort.
So
it's
amazing. We'll see,
And so as you said, it talks about. Is it all history? Is it something about the landscape? I've seen the stuff about cultures that have came through, or different groups, or different people. How would you?
I suppose we live in all places are old, but I mean, we're busy in our own little lives doing all the little things that we want to do, we have to do, but and we walk past our history and archaeology and the folklore. I do anyway. You know what I mean? I'm quite sure many do. So it was a sort of an opportunity to show that all these stories are. There's loads, we always talk about Yeats and things like that, but the stories that are equally interesting are as important in all parts of Sligo. And I suppose deep down that, on the side of a hill somewhere in a dark, rainy November night, when there's a knock on Mary's door and she says, "Who is it?" "It's Brendan." "Oh, Brendan." And so it's a local. And he hands her the book, and it's a thing they've done in Sligo, and we're on page 42, Mary, and there's 2 pages in our area, and she can go, "Oh, well, that's, you know what I mean, and that's our townland," and then all the different, our parish, should I say, and all those parishes around the county. So in many ways it's simple. As a conceit.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's a nice connecting communities again after the last year and a half we've had.
Yeah. I'd like to say we thought of it during that, but it was actually before that.
Until anyone went. So again, the book is the first part of is it a series of projects to kind of celebrate some of this history. Would I be right in saying that?
No,
You have more events to come up?
I suppose Blue Raincoat are a theatre company, but we've done all sorts of different things. We run Tread Softly, so we do loads of outdoor stuff and collaborative stuff. And we've done we ran the Armistice Day project a couple of years ago.
Yes, fabulous.
So we've done things like that, every few years.
Okay, so this is a standalone. The book it's on. It's not linked
standalone.
to a future.
That's it.
Okay.
Like if we get to 27,000 books,
you'd be more than happy. I suppose
happy.
it probably might wake up some communities going, I didn't know this piece of history in art. So who knows what creative or artistic events it might create.
And I know this sounds really silly, but I spent ages this evening with someone bringing me through which townland is which area, and I've been living in the place. Unfortunately, nearly 60 years, and you're going, wow, really? Is that what that is? Okay, So at a very simple level, it's that. You know what I mean?
And I think there is mountains of history everywhere. I didn't even know about that battle in Culligan. I never knew. So there's one thing. I'm sure there's. Was there anything you found particularly interesting that you hadn't known before from doing the book?
I suppose I wouldn't have been involved. I wouldn't be smart enough to be involved in the book. I was at the thing, making sure it was done on time, which I failed to do, but we got it done just about on time. And I'd sort of be managing, and I'd spend a bit of time thinking it's going well, and then getting a bit frightened that God, will we get the people? And I haven't quite got to the bit where I'm actually any of the bits. There's loads of things that are interesting.
I know. It sounds an amazing book. So I'm looking forward to reading it. So
it'd be nice to find something that would include all parts of Sligo.
And I think that happens a lot. There's kind of maybe certain areas get more of the limelight than others. There's wonderful areas all over.
That's it. That's it.
And it sounds interesting. Because I didn't even know myself. And so just to remind people where they go now to register or to help.
If you want to help out, if you're part of a group or as an individual and you want to deliver in your community, the Book Of Sligo.com.
Book of Sligo, easy enough.
Is the easy one to remember. Our contact us at Blue Raincoat, but the Book Of Sligo.com, and that's a sort of email we set up to gather volunteers.
Yes, okay. And I've seen it in the papers as well. So there's plenty of media put out there for people to find you.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Well, it sounds like an amazing project. As I said, I have no problem helping out in our own area, and if we can help with any gather more people, we will. Brilliant. Now, before we let you go, obviously, as you said, Blue Raincoat. At the moment, what's life like for ye? Have you any new things coming up, or productions?
We've been fortunate because we're involved with Tread Softly that do all this outdoor stuff. We had quite a busy year, and we started off the year trying to do a couple of. We've done loads of things, but we were out for depth everywhere. We made a couple of films, but sure, we don't know anything about making films. So we were doing films and plays, and one was good, and one we probably should hide.
But you learned.
You know what I mean? It was the second one that didn't work. It should have been the other way around. And did a lot of things with interesting things with Tread Softly. Bettina Seitz did this sculptural thing out on Oyster Island, and that was filmed, and just sort of interesting ways to do some of the stuff online. We just did a shadow puppet play called Hunting Darwin.
Oh yes, I've seen the little penguin on the poster.
That was it,
yes, okay.
But we've sort of, and then there's this, and then we run the Theatre Academy in January, and then we're back into, I think, normal theatre, if you wish. In February, we're doing we're not. We're doing Happy Days by Samuel Beckett,
okay. And you have some workshops coming up as well. This came into my head. So that's movement and vocal.
That's it. We have the people come to Sligo and give workshops in voice and movement and dance and bits and pieces like that. Been running for about 10 years, and and it's open to everybody.
I was going to say, is it all ages? Is it all levels?
All ages, all levels. Whether you're a community actor, whether you're a professional actor, and that's usually been the mix. You know what I mean?
Okay. Sounds interesting.
So it's gone good.
Okay, so Blue Raincoat on your website, social media, again, find out all those details.
Absolutely,
Well, Niall, first we've had a proper chat like this about a big project, so it's lovely to chat to you. Okay. Thanks very much for telling us about that book. As I said, we'll help everyone. The Book Of Sligo.com so people can get their information there. Thanks for coming on, and sure we'll be seeing you about. So if you liked what you just seen, don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel here. We've loads of great interviews from a load of really interesting people over the series. And if you're on social media, which I'm sure loads of you are, we are on Instagram and Facebook, so give us a follow there.